and after game 1, the state of New York and New Jersey were shook. Jaden Daniels is that offense. It is, and it's hard to admit how much you rely on the talent of one player. Bring him back against the Bears the week after. That makes more sense to me. Hold on a second. Bring him back against the Bears, bro. Why wouldn't you do that? That's so much of an easier contest for him. Let him play light ball. And the people had an eventful week with the New York Yankees. That's what he said. Just meet me at 11:30. Listen, I don't care what happens, man. You guys know that I'm always gonna bump music before I start. That's just what's going on. There's not really a way around that. That's just what it is, man. Got my little notes right here. It wouldn't be proper notes if I didn't draw a little. You feel me? Look, every notebook needs a nice little doodle, a nice little scribble. Oh my God, just like that. Get right into the show. Listen, I'm here to tell you guys that I'm doing my very best to stay consistent and be the voice of the people as I tell you what's been going on this week and the next. It's Cody's Corner. Listen, man, I'm gonna mix it up today. I think I'm gonna keep my headphones on today. I think the music has to keep me hyped. So as I always do, hello, everybody, and welcome officially to Cody's Corner, Cody's week by week hot takes on who's going to take the W in the sports you're worried about. Solo episode today, but that's all right because I got gas in the tank. The tank is on F, never on E. So as we jump right into this was an eventful, and I know you guys come here for football, obviously, right? But like I said, voice of the people, and the people had an eventful week with the New York Yankees. Can we talk about it? Listen, man, I'm just gonna say how it was. Am I a diehard? No, but I know what the people were saying. The Red Sox and the Yankees faced off in this 3-game series, and after game 1, the state of New York and New Jersey were shook. Didn't know what to do, because you know what? Max Fried played a great game, and then it was quiet the second he came out the game. The reliever threw the game. See what I did there? Reliever threw, gave up the game, and then now it's kind of like, oh, what do we do? The community was screaming, put Ben Rice and Jazz Chisholm in the game. They came in, they never came out. Now we come out with a W in the series. Listen, man, shout out to the Yankees, bro. Shout them out, man. They got a hard one coming up, and we'll get into that in a second, but what a difference the adjustments made, and what a difference as I turn my page, you know, because I actually write stuff down. This isn't just for the visual aid. Cam Schlittler. I hope I'm saying that correctly. The word little is in there, so I didn't know if it was Schlittler, but I'm assuming it's Schlittler. I'm going to try and do my best. Cam Schlittler, 12 strikeouts in game 3 as a rookie without a walk. I believe that's a record. I'm going to try and put a clip, maybe if I can find that it is, but I believe that's a record. Outstanding game. On to Toronto, right? I just got a notification right now, right before I started recording, as we do on Saturday, October 4th. I want to see if I could just make sure. Blue Jays leave star shortstop Bo Bichette with a knee sprain off the roster for the game. So look, they're missing a star. That's all right. I hope we're not missing a star if Aaron Judge can show up the way that he did not show up in the last post-game series. My God, it's going to be difficult for them if he does not bring what he does during the regular season. Because look, man, I would listen. If I could put this in the football analogy, if Aaron Judge cannot go over the hump of being who he is in the regular season, he's Dak Prescott. And I don't care if anyone's like, yo, that's a hot take. If that's the case, he's Dak Prescott. He's top 5 in MLB? Yes, hands down. But what good is it if you're not doing what you're doing postseason, right? So he needs to carry his workload that he usually does into what goes next. Because then you have other people, Volpe's hitting home runs, Jazz is hitting home runs. You gotta give them that same weight that they're helping you carry. You know what I mean? Like, that doesn't mean you have to be great, but just do your part is all I'm saying. Toronto tonight. Today's Saturday, October 4th at 4 p.m. I think the exact time is like 4:08 p.m. Eastern time. Listen, it's go-to baseball right now. Do I get excited for the regular season the way other people do? No, because that's the story. But playoff baseball is always hot, especially when the New York Yankees are playing. So I'm going to just leave that right there. Cross that out the way. Boom, that's gone. Now we want to talk about what we're really here to talk about. You know what I'm saying? Not the Jets. I'm going to be honest with you. I know you guys see the blanket. I think I'm going to make this decision come next game. I'm going to remove this blanket, and I will not bring it back until they have a W. It's not fair. Who are we to be, like, giving so much visual aid to the New York Jets? You got the hat on the wall. This shit is green. You feel me? The scarf is right there. Now you're going to add the table, and they're 0-4. It's crazy. It's crazy. I know how I feel about the Jets, and I promise you that there's a lot of good football coming on this week, because if there wasn't, I would be diving all into how it's not Justin Fields' fault. But we're not going to get into it. We're here to talk about, so today's Saturday, last Thursday night football game. It was the 49ers against the Rams. I got to tell you, it's been on my mind. I was so wrong about Mac Jones, and I was so wrong about the Rams. I've always said myself, you guys can tell me if you think I'm wrong, I think the Rams are the most slept-on team in the NFL. Why is that? I said it last time. It's because they're not in that bubble conversation of like the top 6 whatever teams. Okay, cool. The Chargers get put in that same category, and what happens to them last week? They lose to Jackson Dart and the New York Giants. So I think you can give a little credit when credit is due. It's hard to do it this week because the Rams just lost to the San Francisco 49ers with Mac Jones under the helm, right? I saw Dan Orlovsky. I don't know if I pronounced that right. I'm going to be honest. Dan O. Let's just call him Dan O. I seen Dan O put out a little like quote tweet of something he said 2 years ago, and put a clip of it somewhere on the screen, that he said 2 years ago Mac Jones could be just as successful as Brock Purdy if he was in the same franchise. And we talked about that on Cody's Corner. And my argument, and this is why I got to say I was wrong, my argument was Mac Jones is mid. It doesn't matter if you put him on the best team in the world. He's just not that level. And he showed up swinging in this game Thursday night. I mean, look, it was a pass to some nobody receiver, Tongs, I think it's Tongs. I don't know how you pronounce that. And then on top of that, he threw one to McCaffrey. So the 49ers came out swinging in the beginning. And the Rams just kept it close as the game goes on. And, the 49ers really didn't do anything crazy after that, but they stayed ahead of the game and kept the lead with field goals. They come back, they go into overtime, and then they beat the Rams by a field goal. So, yes, they won, right? And it's hard to take that away from the Rams. It was kind of like a Battle of California thing they had going on Thursday. It was real nice, I got to say. That Kyron fumble in the end, I needed that for fantasy football. And we're going to get onto that in a second. But, man, the guy I'm playing, shout out to Brandon, had Kyron. And it was kind of like one of those love-hate things. I'm going to tell you like this. And I don't think people talk about this enough when it comes to fantasy football, right? There's times, if you love fantasy football the way I do, you have multiple leagues where you have different rosters on every team. You might have a player that is playing for you on one team and against you on your other team. So it's the love, hate, push, and pull feeling of, yo, this guy is doing good for me here, but now he's playing against me here, and it's kind of like the more I do good on one side is the equivalent of how negative they're affecting me on the other side of the ball. So it's kind of hard, I gotta say. That's what happened to me this week. I had Kyron Williams in another fantasy league, so I was happy he was producing. I also had Devontae Adams, who ended up pulling through. He also did good for me. But in my main league, King of the Corner, right, he was against me. So it was hard to see him kind of like explode the way he did, but the fumble helped me, I gotta say. So we're happy about that. And that's really it for what happened to everything on Thursday. So I'm just going to jump right into what we got going on Sunday. So give me a second. I'll pull this up right here. I feel good, man. Let's see. Do I dare record my screen? One. Listen, man. We're going to get right into it, bro. Let's check this week right here. I got a mouse right here. I don't know if I feel like using it the way I was. I guess we could try it today. It's whatever. I'm going to give you 3 games that are the best games to watch on Sunday. We got Denver-Philadelphia is a good game at 1 o'clock. I like that one a lot. Obviously, the Denver does not have the same 4-0 record that the Eagles do, but I think that the Broncos kind of proved that they were present in this team against the Bengals. Listen, the Bengals were nowhere to be shown up defensively or otherwise, but I think that Denver's trying to really prove a point like, hey, we're not a push-around team either, given our record. So I want to see how this goes. Obviously, they say defense wins championships. Philadelphia has a fantastic defense. So does Denver. So this is kind of going to be like who can really stop Saquon Barkley. And it's going to come down to how productive can Bo Nix be with his receivers. I'm a big Cortland Sutton fan. Obviously, I got him on a couple fantasies. This is going to be one of those games where I don't think I have anyone from Philly in any of my fantasies, honestly. But we're going to see how that goes. I'm going to say that's a good game. Tampa Bay, Seattle, I want to see. Listen, I think you got to give credit where credit's due. I think Ibuka is a monster, and I think he's really something that people should be worried about. I think there was like this assumption for a while that the Bucs had Mike Evans and Chris Godwin, so they kind of had this like tag team receiver duo that was really hard to beat, especially how hot they were looking with that championship with Tom Brady. It was like, how is anybody going to stop them? And then on top of that, obviously they've been dealing with injuries from them too. And then they get to draft Egbuka, who has been an absolute game changer really early for the Buccaneers. I just realized I didn't turn my fan off. You know what? All right, sorry about that. We're back. Listen, I forget every time. I don't know how it's every time, but I guess it's just because like I be high or whatever. I don't know, bro. So we're gonna get into it. Like I said, Tampa Bay, Seattle's a good game. Like I said, Egbuka's kind of been going really crazy. Sam Darnold shows glimpses, like I've said in the past. It's kind of hard to break down. Let's go into their stats, man. I would love to see the statistics. The depth chart, Sam Darnold. We looked at this before. Let's see. So here he went 18 for 26, not bad. 14 for 18, also not bad. 22 for 33, a little lower, and then 16 for 23. So he's been pretty accurate. His best game was obviously still like accuracy wise was game 2 against San Francisco, who is supposed to have a really good defense. That's a pretty good statistic right there. I gotta say, man, like. Jet fans are going to be like, yo, get over this guy, bro. It's hard. It's so hard to see players doing successful things and being starters around the league where you think like, yo, they could have just rocked. But that's just a little, what's it called in my heart, a little resentment for the New York Jets. So here we go. Listen, I want to say Washington. Is Jaden Daniels playing? That's a big if. Because if that's a yes, then this is a good game. Let's see. Terry McLaurin out. Depth chart. Let's see what it says. If he's back in the 1, I'm assuming he's playing. Will wear a brace on his left knee. return to action on Sunday against the Chargers. So he's playing with a brace on. I guess, I hope they don't try to roll him in a little earlier, bro. That would be such a mistake if you ask me on the Washington Commanders side. Because look, we could get out of this clip for a second. Jaden Daniels is that offense. It is, and it's hard to admit how much you rely on the talent of one player. I'm not taking any credit away from other players on the Commanders at all, but sometimes you get a player that's so good that you want to revolve your offense around him, very much like Lamar Jackson, like when he got to Baltimore. That wasn't the type of football they were playing. They were playing Joe Flacco football, keep you in the pocket, give you the chance when you need to, but Lamar Jackson kind of opened that up for them, and I think that's what Jaden Daniels is doing for this offense in Washington. Like, look, there's a lot of injuries right now in general. We'll go back to this clip. I'm going back to the Yankees. Here we go. Injuries. You got a guard out and then 2 receivers out. So if that doesn't mean to me that you need to give Jaden Daniels possibly the chance to use his legs a little bit, that's because the offense revolves. Obviously, he's the quarterback, so it's hard not to. But you guys know what I mean. It's that type of play. It's that run and go style of QB where if you don't have the arm that these other big stars have, then what else are you gonna do? You're gonna use your legs. Perfect example. Now, I'm not saying that Jalen Hurts and Justin Fields don't have arms, but when you are that type of player, you got to do your best to protect this guy. Is bringing in Jaden Daniels right now the answer to their long-term problem? Is, listen, we got to make sure that these other guys come back, and when they do, we better make sure Jaden Daniels is still on his feet. I hope, if God forbid, man, because I don't like to talk like that, God forbid he were to have another injury because he came in too early. Just look at Aaron Rodgers, another situation like that. He said he played last year all injured. You can affect your whole season way more negatively than not. And I can't imagine that means that maybe Dan Quinn and the Commanders kind of have a microscope on them or something like that. Cliff Kingsbury. I don't think this means that they have problems, but the only reason maybe I could see if he had to start right now is if either they were doing horribly, in their schedule. Let's see. So they're 2-2. I mean, it's not the worst thing in the world, but then you play against Los Angeles, who kind of has a decent defense. I like to do this too, so then let's do this. Defenses ranked per QB rush. Team pass and rush stats. Okay, so this is for total defense. The Chargers are 3rd. So I'm assuming that means that, they allow the 3rd fewest defensive yards. Which, listen, do you want a potentially still injured Jaden Daniels going into that style of football? I have no idea. I don't think that's a good idea at all. Listen, Jaden Daniels, man, JD5. Listen to me, man. I'm a real fan. I love what you're doing over there. Take a seat, bro. Mariota can do it, man. Listen, the Chargers are nice, so maybe they think to themselves, okay, we have a hard opponent. We need our best guy, and that's okay. But don't potentially put his future on the line, bro. I don't know. That's just me. He's the only quarterback that's coming out of his rookie year that's kind of doing okay. Figure it out, bro. Figure it out. I think that's a horrible idea. Bring him back against the Bears the week after. That makes more sense to me. Hold on a second. Bring him back against the Bears, bro. Why wouldn't you do that? That's so much of an easier contest for him. Let him play light ball. And I'm not saying, listen, NFL players are NFL players at the end of the day. But, can we go to where the Bears were ranked on this? 27th. The Fox Sports. Shout out to Fox Sports. That's crazy. Such a bad call by Dan Quinn. Let's see. Oh, my God. There's a clip right here. Play?
Yeah, so I thought he threw a great week. I just kind of mentioned, I thought he really, put in the week over the last, and put in the time over the last few weeks to get himself to really push it, and all the way even up to now post practice, getting an extra couple small tweaks in to get exactly aligned like we want to. But he threw a good week, John. I felt good. I had fresh eyes for all the days and all the things, but I felt good going into it based on what I saw from towards the end of last week. So I was optimistic.
Is that the brace he's going to wear that he was wearing today?
Yes.
Unreal. Dan Quinn, I don't know, buddy. You might have to flip that hat backwards. I don't know. That you might need to get a better eye view on that one. Why do I keep going back to the Yankees, bro? Let me go to the NFL schedule. So I think that's the big topic on today. And then other than that, I mean, Kansas City plays Jacksonville. They've been kind of slow. I don't really know. Let me see what Jacksonville's been up to. Damn, this Monday night game was mid. Listen, they have 2 wins in a row, man. They're 3-1. Listen, don't sleep. First in the AFC South. Don't listen, man. I don't know. Maybe it is a better game than I anticipated. Let's look at this. Let's look at the. I bet it's like 75-25. Oh, 36. Okay. ESPN had a better anticipation of them winning than I do, so I guess we could put that right there. This is an interesting one, man. It would be pretty cool. It'd be pretty cool. Maybe I'm a Travis Hunter fan this week. Shout out to Caillou. I might be a Travis Hunter fan, but we'll see, man. This is another primetime game for Jacksonville. It's a chance for a statement game. I agree. That might be very important for Jacksonville. So I guess without further ado, we could hop right into fantasy football. What's going on with my guys? Listen, I'm going to give you a live reaction of what's going on my team. I was thankful and blessed to have number 4 on the waiver wire this week. So I was able to pick up Rachaad White off the waiver. Does that mean that he's going to be a big starter? I don't know, but this is kind of what happened to me. So James Conner was my starting running back 2 weeks ago. He goes down. Okay. I had the handcuff. Thank God I drafted the handcuff. I pick up Trey Benson. Trey Benson goes down. He's on the IR. So now I'm scrambling for a RB. I pick up 2. I was able to pick up Michael Carter, who's like still a lesser role than DeMarcado coming out of Arizona. But either way, 2 of their running backs are down. They got to start experimenting. There's a chance Michael Carter does something. I picked him up. I was also able to pick up Rachaad White off the waiver. White and Sean will man the Buccaneers backfield after Bucky Irving was ruled out for the contest. So listen, Rachaad White also has a chance to explode. Here's my big plan right now. Whichever one decides to do more, that's gonna have to be my next guy. Breece Hall's still in the mix, but I've been very, very disappointed in how my 2 star receivers have panned out so far this season. Are they injured? No. There's a lot of fantasy players out there that have a CeeDee Lamb. Sorry to hear. That have a Tyreek Hill. Sorry to hear. The list goes on. You know what I mean? But mine aren't injured. They're just not doing anything. That's even worse. They're suited up, booted up, ready to go out there and make a play. Jake Browning cannot get the ball to Jamar Chase. And Ladd McConkey is suffering that 3rd string role now because Keenan Allen came back to the Chargers and decided that he was still him. You feel me? And Quentin Johnston has been making play after play. Ladd McConkey is slowly formed back into that lesser role as well. Listen, 13 week 1. After that, 9-8-2. Very hard. Jamar Chase had 1 good week as well, if I'm not mistaken. Here we go. 4-36. And then 8-7. And then they played Detroit. That is so hard, man. I think my bye weeks are kind of doing me in right now. Roma Dunze was producing a lot for me. Tucker Kraft was producing a lot for me. I'm not gonna say Algier was producing a lot for me, but you guys get the picture. So I'm kind of floating with scraps. If anybody needs one of my RBs that kind of explodes, you feel me? If anybody wants a Ramondre Stevenson, maybe a little Ray Davis, we can talk about it. I got tight ends to spare as well, as you've seen Kincaid and Kraft. I'm throwing the light out there. Please hit my phone. I will not answer if you just send me a trade with no context, no conversation. It's unsportsmanlike. You feel me? I'm just letting you know how it was. I'm going to go ahead and hit you up first. Hey, are you open to talking about a trade? Yeah, what you got in mind? Send a little screenshot. They send a little screenshot. Be formal about it. I'm a businessman. That means I'm about my business, man. I'm not playing with nobody. So, this is where I was looking at Kyron Williams really kind of scaring me as far as how good he really was doing. I don't really know how that's going to produce for me. Jackson Dart's coming off a hot game. Now he's playing New Orleans that's hot ass. So we could just figure out if he's going to keep on doing what he's doing or if he's going to roll the pile. Rashad White, I'm hoping and praying he does good. And all he's waiting for is Saquon. You already know Kyron had a great game. That's rough. Devontae Smith potentially could have a slow game against Denver's defense. I was about to say his name, but I forgot what his first name is. Certain too. Jamar Chase needs to turn it on. Now he's playing Detroit. Ladd McConkey needs to turn it on. He's playing Washington. I'm a little more confident that these are his 2 star receivers. Yes, mine are bigger names, but I got to see what these guys are doing. So let's look at Alec Ayamonor. Listen, he had 2 good games. He had 2 booms and 2 busts. So I'm not going to hold you. That's kind of scary also. I got to start Kincaid against New England. I'm not really worried about that. Jake Ferguson potentially could. I hate to say this, bro. He potentially could have a good game against the Jets. Their secondary has been looking crazy. I mean, I know I got a lot to say about the officiating and what they're calling a flag and not a flag. We can get into that maybe next time David comes, but I'm not ready to have that conversation right now. Keon Coleman against New England. He could do decent as well. But yes, Tyler Warren against Las Vegas. Las Vegas kind of is being held on by their defense too. I like my odds, but Eagles defense against Denver. I'm a little less confident in the Seahawks against Tampa Bay. This is a hard one. But thank God it's mine, so I get to plead the 5th. But I'm just going to leave it right there. Joe Foreign and Noel Grave. Obviously, Noel is kind of struggling. He lost CeeDee Lamb and Tyreek Hill. So this is kind of like, what do I do now? Territory. You know what I mean? So he still has a 40. All he has is -2 points, which is hilarious. I didn't even notice that. With the Rams defense going into overtime, obviously losing the game. Okay. So he has Justin Fields going against Dallas. Justin Fields could have a good game. Dallas's offense is what keeps them in that game, not their defense. So potentially has a chance to have a good game. Yeah, did you guys see that run against Miami? I knew it was coming. I seen what he did last time in Chicago. Like we don't even gotta jump into that. Jaden Daniels, listen, I don't think he'll have a good game. I think that's fair. H.N. against, I mean, he could probably do great things. Jonathan Taylor against Las Vegas also could probably do great things. Jordan Mason against Cleveland's a hard start. It really is. 0-4 and 1-3. This is a hard little lead that these guys have. Xavier Worthy, I think, could go crazy. He just went on the mic and confirmed he's the fastest guy in the field at all times. So, I mean, that's kind of like, I hope that he can back up what he said because that would be lit. A.J. Brown could have a bad game. Marvin Mims Jr. could have a bad game. Philly and Denver, like those are, like I said, 2 good defenses. It might come down to the Rock. Sam Laporta could have a good game against. I gotta click on him every time. My God, I wish that ESPN could give me like a notification the same way they do about like Taylor Swift album coming out and this and that. I want them to be like, hey, Sam Laporta, breaking news, just shaved his mustache, so I could be like, yes. You feel me? Like, nah, there's no need for it. Right? And I was having this conversation. You know what? Fuck it. I could have this little talk real quick. I was having this conversation with a couple friends of mine. I feel like the mustache is coming back in. Oh my God, I just pulled out my thing. Wow, that was crazy. That felt wild. But as I could continue, I think the mustache is coming back. People are going back to the stash. And some people are going to be like, hey, it never left. People are always rocking it. Yeah, it's cool. But like, this entwined in the pop culture, I think, again, is when it's coming back. You know, obviously people have been doing the detached goatee. That's become kind of popular again. But I've been seeing the stash. I've been seeing the wah wah wah. They got the Clint Eastwood, fucking Chuck Norris, Super Mario, Sam Laporta stash out there. And let me know in the comments if you feel like that's a good look. If that's not a good look, you tell me if you rocking with the mustache right now. We can get back into this. Brenton Strange kind of has been having a decent game these last couple times. Look, 12-1. Is he a star? No, but he's putting up flex numbers, and that's all you could ask from a low-level tight end. Chris Godwin, like I said, could have a decent game. In this one, I think this one's kind of harder, but I like Noel's running back matchups more. I think his receivers should still be fun. So even though he has better receivers, I'm gonna say give me Noel. I'm sorry, Joey. You might go to 0-5. This is a better one. Anthony Maldonado. I picked Cade Otong against Haley Stanfield's real husband. We got 115 to 145. Matt Stafford had a crazy game. McCaffrey had a crazy game. That's a big yikes. Then you got Cam Scatterville against New Orleans, who may just like do whatever he feels like, right? I want to know, is this game in MetLife? See if it says it. No, it's in New Orleans. Okay, so that's better, right? Where obviously people have been having this talk. A lot of people are getting hurt from MetLife Stadium turf. Odell had gotten hurt. Malik Neighbors got hurt. That was a big loss. It's kind of hard to see exactly what's going on, man. And listen, if I can put my 2 cents in, get rid of it, man. Fix the grass in MetLife Stadium. If we could just scream that out to the highest of the highest, Aaron Rodgers, Malik Neighbors, Odell Beckham, stars are falling on this field. And I think it's time for something. So let's get that done, man. Let's save these people's careers. Let's save these people's bodies. Let's be specific. And oh man, what's the word I'm looking for? I'm gonna clip this. Let's see, how could I say this? It starts with an I. It's called intentional. 3, 2, 1. Yeah, man. So like I'm saying, just let's start being intentional with what's going on this football field, and let's fix this grass. We don't want to see all these people hurt, man. So Cam Scatterville, okay, he likes to do the little backflips, whatever, like save his body, right? If he gets back home. DeMarcado, I don't know. Either he's gonna go crazy or Michael Carter's gonna go crazy. Who knows? Jalen Waddle could have a good game. Jacoby Myers, their defense has been pretty hot too. Mark Andrews had a good game last week, if I'm not mistaken. He put up 10. Okay, listen. And they play Houston. Houston's defense is kind of like whatever. Chris Olave has potential to have a bad game. Kenneth Walker has potential to have a bad game. Trey McBride against Tennessee is a great game. Zay Flowers against Houston's a great game. Also, he's starting one receiver from both teams. So that means I think this one can do better than that one. This is hard. I think I like his receivers way more, and his running back. One already went crazy. I got to give it to Caillou, man. I'm sorry. AFM squared. Let's go to David. David's 4-0 casually against a 1-3. You got 116 against 122. Projected to lose because Puka Nacua went absolutely crazy. Got James Cook against New England. Baker Mayfield against Seattle. Oh, man, this is hard. I think Chase Brown has potential to have a slow game against Aiden Hutchinson. And then on the other side of the ball, I think James Cook kind of could have a really good game. The whole hype is Stephon Diggs going to have his get-back game. Obviously, he played against Buffalo, or played for Buffalo, excuse me. And he had to leave there. Now he's back in the division playing against his old team. Is he going to be this thing that people are talking about? He's back in the state to, talk to his old coaches, old teammates. You know, he had a really strong connection with Josh Allen. That's cool. Actually, time out. I just thought about something. And this is the last thing I'll cut into. We got to talk about it. I think that I'm going to put a clip up right here. The Buffalo Bills put up a message saying good luck to the Toronto Blue Jays in this upcoming series after they had the bye week. Last time I checked, right, Buffalo is part of New York State. right? Why would, and people are gonna say, oh, it's really close to Toronto. Okay, that's cool. That's great. I don't care. Honestly, you're in the state of New York. Why would you not wish the Yankees the best pursuit in this series? The Blue Jays are playing the Yankees. The Bills didn't have to say anything about that series. They could have took their 2 cents and kept it in their pocket, because that is, are you kidding me, bro? I understand. Listen, it's like people in Jersey that root for the Eagles. Like, that's cool. But New York has their own teams, right? The Bills are their team. Cool. If you want to talk about the Bills, talk about the Bills. You didn't have to bring it over to the Blue Jays. And I know, like, people are gonna argue, oh, in that area, that's the closest one, so a lot of Bills fans are Blue Jays fans. I don't care about none of that. I really don't, right? Tell me if I'm wrong. But they didn't have to say anything. They should be wishing the Yankees good luck. State of New York, they should be wishing the Yankees good luck. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying they go make another message. Oh, yeah, good luck to the Yankees, too. We don't want your secondhand pity. You feel me? We're going to go out and catch W's, right? But that's something else about something else. 3, 2, 1. Yeah, and we're back in it, bro. I think that we're looking at Justin Herbert could have a good game. He just lost to the Giants, though. But the Giants have a decent defense. Does Washington have that same level of defense? I guess there's only one way to find out. Nick Chubb against the Ravens might be a little more difficult. Amon-Ra might have a field day, right? So that keeps it close on this side. George Pickens has emerged as that guy, and unfortunately, if they keep calling flags on the Jets the way they have, George Pickens could have a field day as well. Zach Ertz is hard. Khalil Shakir has potential to have a great game. This is a hard one. Deebo Samuel kind of has great games, and he has not so great games. That's a lie. He's been pretty consistent outside of Las Vegas. But I gotta say, I think that this is a close one. This might be the game of the week. I'm gonna be honest with you. Shout out to Ronnie. I need to get back to you. I really think that you have a chance in this game, bro. Like, I really, really do. And you're projected to win, so you could hit me back and be like, obviously, but nah, bro. Like, you're 1-3. I think this can be like your humble game. I think David can fall this game. Sorry to David. Give me Ronnie on this one, bro. Give me Ronnie. Got 2 more. Here we go. Trudge through. We got Saving Private Brian against Neighbors Think I'm Selling Dope. This one's pretty close as well. Jake Tonks had 17 points, which is great out of a flex position. The tight end position. I didn't know he was a tight end. That's crazy. I mean, I saw his name and I was watching the game, but I didn't even realize he was the tight end. Looks like he's been picking up a couple games. Obviously, George Kittle got hurt, so they have to experiment in that aspect. But look at that, Isaiah Pacheco. Listen, he had a decent game last week. We had the whole meme about it, how he was mid. Then he put up 12. So, listen, maybe he heard it. Maybe he was watching Cody's Corner. I don't know, bro. I got to say, Keenan Allen, like I said, has become that guy again. Justin Jefferson against Cleveland could be extremely difficult. Daniel Jones been playing amazing, how he's been playing. That this is the make or break right here. I think Drake May, the rumor is that he goes crazy against Buffalo. But obviously they have a very good rushing defense. My favorite guy is that linebacker Milano. I think he's absolutely no joke. Could he get to Drake May a lot? Potentially so. But if they give him any type of room, maybe he has a surprise game. Marion Hampton's the RB1 now. Javonte Williams has been playing all right. And we have a pretty good rush defense, so maybe I'm not so worried about him. Zach Charbonnet still kind of like splits a little bit of the workload. He's 10-1, didn't play at all in 12, so it's kind of hard to see what he's doing. Jameson Williams might be a little harder. Let's see. Yeah, I think that's a harder start. I like his receivers more, and I'm split between the running backs. But I like, obviously his tight end went off. I don't know what Hunter Henry's gonna do, but like I said, if Drake May does well, Hunter Henry has potential to do well. I think Keyshawn Judkins had 2 touchdowns. Let me look at his numbers right here. Hold up. I don't even need to do all that. It'll say it up here somewhere. has immediately stepped into the lead. Oh, here we go. No touchdowns. Hold up, bro. Am I tweaking? Yeah, I'm right here with it. So, 21 carries for 82 yards, 1 touchdown, 4 receiving yards, 4 catches for 33 receiving yards. So he had an all-around. He was a pass catcher. He was rushing. He had a touchdown. So, listen, man, it looks like Keyshawn Junkins can be a good flex. Brian Thomas hasn't been coming out so hot. This is hard. I like his flex more than, I guess you got to argue. And then I don't like his wide receiver 2 after that, but this is hard. This is hard, dude. Give me Alex. Give me Alex. I like Javonte Williams against New York more than I like Zach Charbonnet against Tampa Bay. Give me Alex, bro. Yeah, just like that. And then we got PD 3-1 against Obi at 2-2. Devontae put up a good 13. That's a solid 13. And Jigba got shut down last game, if I'm not mistaken. But he's still at 13. So shut down figure. But listen, man, he only had 79 receiving. So does he get shut down this game? He has the potential to, I would say. So Tampa Bay has a decent defense. Garrett Wilson might have a great day, though. A great one. Not a good one, a great one. Fannon's kind of whatever. Travis Kelce, I think, could have a great day. Stephon Diggs is the big question mark. Is he going to go crazy against his former team? Like I said, you already know you got Devontae Adams with 13. Woody Marks, who? You got 27. That's who. Here we go. Let's talk about it. Continues to trend in the right direction, and the 4th-round pick in 2025 of NFL Draft has been seeing more and more touches as the season progresses. He went from logging 7 offensive snaps to 41. So it looks like this guy's going to be the guy. So maybe that is a good start. Derrick Henry, obviously, has not been playing so great. Look at that, man. So it's really a shame to see what that's coming into. That means I like his running back room more, which would have been crazy to ever say after that. I mean, Genty's cool. Jahmyr Gibbs always does what Jahmyr Gibbs does, but Derrick Henry's that big question mark. You know, we got Etienne at the flex or Igbuka. Igbuka's that guy. I'm sorry, bro. And I like the Lions defense against Cincinnati more than I like. These are both great defenses too. Wow, good defensive game. I gotta say, man. Can we clap that? Can we clap that up? Listen, this is a close. This is another one, bro. I think this one can go either way. If Njigba goes in the direction he's going, puts up about the same, I think Garrett has potential to do more against Stephon. I don't know. This is a hard game, bro. I think it's going to come down to the running back. So unless Derrick Henry can pull himself out of this slump that he's in, listen, I know Cooper Rush is the QB1 in Baltimore right now because Lamar Jackson got hurt. Maybe that means Derrick Henry runs the ball a little more frequently. If he can pull himself out of this pocket, I think Petey got it. If not, Petey's going to take an L this week. And Obi's going to go into 3-2. So there's my pick on that. And that's all we got for today. So we're going to get right out of here. I thank you guys for watching as always. Like and subscribe. And I'll see ya.